The fuck is up, YouTubers? My name's invertedjokerr, and welcome back to episode 4 of Rainbow Six Siege Pro Tips. And just as a quick reminder before we get into the video, I do upload every other day, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with every episode in this series, and for future series to come. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the topic of today's video is going to be choosing the right operator. Now, this isn't about what the best operator is in your opinions or, who's the flashiest or any of that. But I'm going to get into what gets you wins and what gets you kills and does it in an effective manner that anybody can use, really. So the first thing I'm going to bring up is 1-bar armor and 3-bar speed operators, or 2-bar armor and 2-bar speed, but I prefer the 3-bar speed and 1-bar armor. And here's why. So the pros and cons of this are, of course, you have less armor, but you're also slower. And the ability to move around the map quickly and effectively, whether you're defending or attacking, is, the greatest possible thing you could have, because, in any given situation, you could be hitting them from one side, and they pile 5 guys up to the side and start shooting at you, but they're not pressing forward. You can run around to the other side of the objective at any moment there and wax them from behind before they think you can even get over there, because you can move so fast. Now, there's a bunch of great operators that have 1 bar of armor and 3 bars of speed, or 2 bars of armor and 2 bars of speed. However, a lot of this gameplay is going to be smoked because he's a great, effective operator and he gets the job done. However, that's not to say that any other operators aren't as great, such as Thermite's good, Sledge is good, but I've been straying away from Thermite a little bit lately just because of my next point, but, you guys know who the 1-bar armor and 2-bar armor operators are, and if you don't, you can go look through your menu. But that brings me to my next point, which is a high rate of fire. Okay, so the high rate of fire guns, such as the FMG9 that you see here, don't do that much damage, and that's usually not appealing to anyone. But when you think about it, if you do 25 to 35 damage, and in the FAMAS's case, 42 damage, I believe, it really doesn't matter when you're putting out more than 700 rounds per minute how much damage you're doing, because you can empty a magazine so quickly. Like this SMG here, my machine pistol, the second I hit the trigger, the magazine is empty and they're dead no matter what. And like with, let's just say Twitch, you do 42 damage per shot, 800 rounds per minute with a 30-round magazine. On the very, very high end, at the very most, you're going to have to hit somebody 5 times. You know how fast you can throw 5 bullets at someone's face? So that's another thing you need to think about. Half of the time, also, when we're talking about the armor debate, if you have 3 bars of armor and you're slow, that still doesn't make you immune to a headshot, no matter what. If you shoot someone in the head in Rainbow Six Siege, and I believe this is the way it should be, but let me know in the comments down below if you think they should change it. 1 shot to the head is going to kill you or them. So it really doesn't matter how much armor you have on if the person that you're facing is a decent shot. And with a high rate of fire gun, let's just say you're not a good shot. 9 times out of 10, if you have no experience and you're coming from Call of Duty and you're used to holding down the trigger, your weapon's going to recoil right towards their head and you're going to get a headshot 9 times out of 10. So the guns that are great, that are high rate of fire, this is just a few examples, and these are on the defensive side, of course. It's the FMG9, the MP7, the 416C, and at the very last resort, I'd say the MP5. But on the attacker side, I haven't really listed too many, as you notice, because the attackers have the high advantage because they're breaching from every which direction. They have an arsenal of guns that they can use that are all great. I know I mentioned the FAMAS with Twitch, which is the F2, I believe, on Rainbow Six. You got Thermite, who's got the Scar H, even though it's not the Scar H, or it's not called the Scar H on Rainbow. That's a good, decently high rate of fire gun that hits like a truck. There's all these guns at your disposal. Now you just have to go out there and pick one, and practice does make perfect. And that brings me to my next point, which is ammo usage. You have a very high rate of fire, let's say 900 rounds per minute, even though there isn't really too many guns that are even up in that category. But like the machine pistol, the Mach 11 that you get as a sidearm with Sledge, I believe, yes, Sledge, and of course, as you saw me with Smoke, that is over 1,000 rounds per minute. That is insane. And all of these guns generally have either, 30 rounds to the mag or 31 rounds in the magazine, so you really have to be careful about how you're using your ammo. And the quickest way to get over that is to just go into a custom game, practice your aim, practice tap firing, make sure that you're just pulsing the trigger, because like here, I'm just tapping the trigger, but as you see in the group before that, when I hold down the trigger, my recoil goes all the way up the wall, and even when I'm not ADSing, the pattern goes from left to right, up, down, you don't know which way it's going to go. But if I tap fire as I'm not ADSing, there is a little bit of spread, but it's significantly more controllable. And if I aim down the sights and I tap fire, that group turns into about a 1-inch group, and every last single shot's on target. So if you can focus on tap firing at even short and medium ranges, but specifically long ranges into someone, especially with a high rate of fire, you are going to get those 5 shots to 6 shots on target within a matter of, 2 seconds, and you're going to get the kill as long as your aim is on point. So until next time, guys, as I said before, my name's Inverted and I'm signing the fuck out. Siege, sorry. However, which are really not as important as the main point, which is mindset. Mindset is